Hello everyone, this is your very favorite history teacher, and today I'm coming to you because I'm still concerned that people are upset that the Confederate flag can't be flown, can't be seen, can't be supported in 2020. It's like they forgot, were absent in history class, or they have been listening to their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents that the symbol of the Confederate flag is about states' rights. I heard a lot of that when I was at Texas A&M. However, I had a professor at Texas A&M, Dr. Van Wood. I believe it's Van Guyver, I think. Forgive me. An older white man from the West Texas. I took his class called Slavery in the South. And he said, a lot of people want to say there are several different reasons or causes for slavery. Those are good, those are all right. But he said, the one thing is, it's slavery. And if you look at the Confederate States of America Declaration of Independence, in the first sentence, it says why they are becoming independent or seceding from the Union because of slavery. The Confederate flag, or the stars and bars that they show, that some people put on the backs of their trucks, or waving, or going to these neo-Nazi events, waving it, that there have been monuments to, is actually not the original flag. Confederate States flags. The original Confederate States flag actually was 7 stars in a circle and red and white bars. But it looked a lot like the U.S. flag. So the Navy Jack flag, which is a division, Civil War, I think, battalion or company in the Civil War, that became the current Confederate States flag that you see a lot of. A couple of years ago, I think maybe last year, Six Flags, which actually has all 6 flags that have, countries that have been in this country, territories, Spain, France, the U.S., the Confederacy, I believe, one more. And they use the original Confederate States flag. But because of a lot of criticism that was brought their way, they made the correct decision, and they're saying, okay, we're going to take down that flag, and in addition, we won't fly with any of the other flags anymore. Some people were upset about that and didn't like it, but Six Flags is still going. Okay, it's still open. But this, despite the coronavirus and quarantine, there's still a business. They still have people who are frequenting those places. Now NASCAR, which has been a predominantly white sport, but they do have black drivers and black owners, a few. They have made the decision in the wake of what's been going on in the last couple of weeks with Black Lives Matter, with justice for Ahmaud Arbery, justice for Breonna Taylor, justice for George Floyd. They've been hearing and paying attention. And so they decided to stop waving and having the Confederate flag flown at their events, because they realized, hey, this is very divisive, and we want our events to be open to everyone, aka we want everybody's money. Black people, white people, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, and we don't want to exclude anyone. I mean, because Hey, it's the right thing to do. The Confederacy lost the Civil War. They seceded from the Union, fought against the United States. So technically they were traitors. And you're flying a flag of a traitor against the United States. But you say it's a part of Southern pride. Guess what? I'm descendant of an African American slaves. That's not part of the Southern pride. I want to wave and fly around. You know, there are some black people who are like, oh, we should be able to fly the flag, Confederate flag. And yeah, I just think they just not woke, or they not right in the head. Or maybe they should have took my history class. So but one of the drivers, he's one of the first, I say not first, but current African American drivers. His name is Bubba Wallace, and he was on Good Morning America, and he talked about the importance of, like, this is very inclusive, this is great, the direction that NASCAR is going, and then he even took it further and wore a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, put it on his car that he's driving in the race, okay, and using his influence to talk about what has happened to George Floyd and other people in the Black Lives Matter movement. He's using his position as the only black man in a predominantly all-white sport. So people are going to pay attention to that, to advocate for Black Lives Matter. I'm like, okay, great. But guess what? Some of his fellow NASCAR drivers who are white are upset. And two of them have decided to quit or retire or resign because they don't like it. They think it's disrespectful, not taking care of their heritage, and it's them taking it away is giving into the protests and bad things about police, and I think one of the guys who quit is named Ray Ciccarelli, and it's just, I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm just so tired. It's like, there's a thing that says, direction that says, those who do not study or learn from history are doomed to repeat it. History, you're supposed to learn from it and then do better. After the Civil War, they had in the South what's called lost cause ideology. They believed that they were right to secede, but they just lost because they didn't have enough money or people. That's where the whole, we're going to keep flying the Confederate flag and put up monuments that are currently being torn down. Great. I think a Jefferson Davis statue just got torn down. And even I think a Christopher Columbus statue got torn down. And even in the UK, they had some slave owners' statues to get torn down. So we have these racist symbols, which were actually, more of them were put up during times where African Americans were asserting their rights. It was to remind them to keep them in their place. It was done during the 20s, during the Progressive Era, Harlem Renaissance. It was done again during the 50s and 60s during the Civil Rights Movement. The Confederate flag should be in a place where it is used in the proper historical context. A history book, a museum, not being flown at public events like NASCAR, Six Flags, or any other government function. I know we have First Amendment rights and people the right to express themselves, but you need to understand the Confederate flag is divisive. This is your very favorite history teacher. Let me see your transcript. Have a good day.